folks, it's me again, and we're back with another challenge on my channel, and this time I asked the Twitterverse a few questions and put polls with them and asked basically people to choose my build for me. So I gave, I don't know, how many questions did I give? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions, all relating to different parts of the build, and people voted, and these are the results. I'm actually going to pull up the results, so I'll show you them so that you know that I'm not cheating. So I asked, first I did ask whether it should be a 1-story or a 2-story house, and people voted for 1-story, but then after that every other poll came out at 50-50, so I had to redo the poll basically. And so these are the final results. So we've got a 1-story house. I asked what colour, and people chose black and white. I was really surprised actually at some of the answers, because I really thought people were just going to be incredibly mean and pick things that, you know, were kind of very challenging. But it's actually, you know, it's an alright build. I think I'm going to do alright with this one. So black and white, I asked how much it should cost and gave a few different things, plus no budget, and I was surprised that people said no budget. So that's that. How many packs? So this is base game plus. So base game only, which I thought everybody would go for. I thought you were all going to be really mean and choose base game. 1 expansion pack, 1 expansion pack and 1 game pack. 1 expansion pack, game pack and 1 stuff pack, which is what everybody chose, and I was very surprised by that, because that seems like the least mean thing to choose. So again, I feel like that's making it a little easy. So who lives here? Are they family or are they roommates? Which I thought, you know, makes it more difficult depending on which one you chose, because obviously being family means probably less bedrooms. Being roommates means more bedrooms, and you'll find out why I asked that question in a minute. I asked what size lot you wanted me to put it on, and people voted for 30 by 40, so it's got to be quite, again, that's quite a large, not very large, but a larger lot. What style? Now this one came out obviously tied as 70s and modern, so what I did is I flipped a coin, and heads was 70s, tails was modern, and it came out as tails, so I've gone for modern. Again, I don't really build modern builds that often. I'm trying to get more into building them, because, you know, they're nice. I like modern builds, but I don't know, I kind of like going for themes like 70s or rundown, so that one I guess is going to be a bit more difficult for me. How many Sims live here? Now this was a really important one, because obviously depending on how many Sims people chose to live in the house depended on the number of rooms I would need. So obviously roommates aren't going to be sharing rooms, so luckily people only chose 4, so that was quite alright, because I thought that people were going to go for like 6 or 8, and you can see 21% of people chose 8, so I was quite lucky really that it came out at 4, so that's doable, that's fine. So yeah, so it's going to be a single-story house with all these things on there, and obviously where it says that the how many packs and thing, I have decided to use James Turner's random pack generator, because I just couldn't pick which ones I wanted to use, and I watched a video where he was demonstrating this the other day, and I thought it looked really fun. Plus this website is really nice, it's very sleek. So yeah, so basically I'm going to get a number of results is free. It's pretty self-explanatory. Explanatory. Number of results free, because I want an expansion pack, a game pack and a stuff pack. So I have left it at that, and I'm going to generate them, and I'm just really hoping that, I don't know, Lady Luck is on my side, and it's going to be 3 packs that I can work with quite well. So let's go for it. Fingers crossed, everybody. We're just going to hit the button. Oh, yes. It's very nice, though. This is a very... it's not terrible. It's not the best, but it could be worse. So get to work, bowling night stuff, dine out, and then obviously base game. So, you know, it's not, it could have gone so much worse, I guess. So I'm just going to write these down, because my memory is terrible. But yeah, I definitely recommend that you come to this and use this. It's really cool. Like, it's just, you know, adds a bit of fun to the game, I guess. Like, you know, you could even, I don't know, you could even do like one pack. Be like, what do we get for one pack? Spa day. Oh, it's because I've clicked that. What an idiot. Yeah, get to it. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a cool little thing anyway. And he has got a video on his channel sort of explaining it and stuff like that, so that is that. So yes, and we shall hop into the game. So I have sort of been looking at these lots as I've been waiting to start recording, and I think I'm gonna go for Midtown Meadows 40 by 30. So I wanted to point one thing out, which actually is kind of interesting. These are 40 by 30 as well, but they look so much bigger. Perspective really is like weird, isn't it? When, I don't know, this is obviously far away, so it's small. But anyway, I don't know why I said that. It was just something that I was like, oh, that's not a 40 by 30 lot because it looks too small. And then I was like, oh my god, it is. Anyway, I am going to jump into a speed CAS and then we'll go to a speed build. So the speed CAS will obviously be me creating 4 roommates, and then from there we'll go for the speed build for the actual house. So I will be back with you in a memento. So this is just the speed CAS then, creating the 4 roommates. So like I said before, this was a really important question, whether they were roommates or whether they were family, and how many Sims were in the household, because obviously that determined how many bedrooms I had to do, and it kind of made it more difficult. If you said 8 Sims that were roommates, that would be really difficult. So you chose roommates, and I just kind of was thinking, I guess these 4 Sims, imagine that they've just been to university together. Well, no, not together. Imagine they've just been to university and they lived together while they were at uni, and they became friends that way, and then after university they all wanted to just carry on living together as professionals. So what I've gone for is like 4 different personalities, but in the same kind of category. So for instance, they're all creatives. One wants to be, this lady here wants to be a writer. She's creative, gloomy and outgoing. And basically my idea behind all these Sims having like a different aspiration was that each bedroom could then be focused on the Sim that it was for. So the other guy was a writer. No, she was a writer. This guy is really into music, and so his room is going to be like all about music. Her room's all about kind of writing, and then the next one wants to be an actress, and then we've also got what's the last one? Painter. So we've got a painter and an actress, or an actor. I can't remember. Anyway, so basically, the idea, like I said, is that they've all got their own kind of personalities, but in the same field, so they're all creative. CAS isn't really my favourite place. I mean, I do like creating Sims, and I do like giving people a story, so like the idea that these have all got a story. They're all friends who live together as professionals after university, and for some reason they live in this super modern house. I don't know how they can afford it just straight after university, but they can. And I'm also hoping that maybe in the summer we will get university and I can take them there and actually, you know, make the story real. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, this is the actor, sorry, and this last lady is the painter. So yeah, so they're all different people. They've all come from different backgrounds. You know, they all like different things, different personalities. So yeah, so it's just quite interesting to see kind of how they're all going to live together. And I mean, I probably won't play with them because I've got too much going on at the moment in the game, but if I did eventually play with them, yeah, I don't know, maybe they'll turn up in one of my Let's Play, let's see. But they are available on the gallery for you to download. I think I meant to name them the like roommates, but I think they're named the Hoffman pupil because the first lady was something Hoffman. But anyway, so yeah, you're welcome to download them off the gallery and play with them. And like I say, I love it when people play with my stuff, so just show me what you've done with them if you do. If you do download them and you give them a proper story, let me know. Yeah, so the Hoffman. Anyway, so this is the actual speed build. So do you remember in the first part of the video when I said that people hadn't been mean and that people had been quite generous with their answers to my questions? And I was like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Like, you know, oh, this is a doddle. Yeah, I lied. This was so difficult to do because I don't do modern houses. I struggled so much with this. You also might notice that the shell of the house is already built, and that's because I actually filmed me building the shell of the house, and then for some reason the file was corrupted. So there's that, but you know, this is me furnishing it, so just imagine you've watched me build it. Imagine you've watched me struggle building it, because this is actually the second house that I've built for these people. The first house, I just wasn't feeling it, we just weren't getting on, you know, so I just deleted it, and this is the new house. So obviously, you know, modern, I needed to have four different bedrooms, and I just didn't know what I wanted it to look like. I couldn't picture it in my head. Usually when I have something that I'm going to build, I don't necessarily plan out what I'm going to build, but I just have a picture in my mind of what I want, and it can be just a certain element. So like for instance, I could just have a picture in my mind of a bathroom, and then I work the whole house around this bathroom, or I might think in my head, oh, I really want the kitchen to look like this, so then I just build the house around the kitchen. For some reason there was just nothing coming to my mind when I built this, except for the pool in the middle. I knew that I wanted it to have a pool, and I was thinking, right, so this is a modern build, so what I've done is I've gone for an indoor pool with like a big glass ceiling. So I don't know, that was all that I could like sort of think of. So yeah, so this first bedroom, this one's the writing bedroom, so there's a desk, there's a computer, there's a lamp, there's a little like reading nook in the corner. Obviously the bedrooms they are quite small, but the thing with modern builds obviously is that they're usually quite minimalist, and I struggle because I like to put a lot of clutter in, and I like to make really cozy spaces. And I think the problem that I have with modern builds is that they feel quite empty to me, and then also I feel like there's not too much in the game to fill these big spaces. So there's like 2 corridors running down the side of the pool, and they don't really have much in them except like a table at the end of the hallways, and obviously at the other end there is 2 bathrooms. So I just really struggled with just adding stuff in. Sorry if you just heard that motorbike. When are they gonna like invent quiet motorbikes? Because honestly, like, they annoy me so much. We've got like a road just outside the house, like a main road, and just all day every day just motorbikes. I don't know why they're going or what they're doing, but they are there and they are annoying. So anyway, back to the build. So I wanted to do something interesting in each of the rooms, like I said. So this is the actor's room, and I've just realised that I've actually made this as if it's for a female. So because I thought that the actor was female, but turns out that it's not. So I don't know, I mean, it's fine. You know, they like to wear women's shoes, so that's all good, and we'll just, I don't know, maybe swap rooms. But yeah, so this so this is the actor's room. Again, like I said, very small rooms. Yes, I know it's a modern build. You're probably thinking, well, modern builds are quite big and they're quite airy and spacious. This one isn't, because I don't like big airy spacious places. It just, I don't know, it gives me anxiety. I don't feel cozy. I like to feel like there's a lot around me, like it's really comfy and cozy, and I can just like kind of sink into something and not feel cold. I feel like when I look at a modern build that I feel cold. But you know, that's nothing against modern builds because they are very nice. They always look really good. They're always like a piece of art. Like, I get it. I understand why people like modern builds. But for me, I just like a bit of character. I mean, like I said in my dream home build, I just like something that kind of has a lot of stories in the walls. Like, you know, you go in there and you're like, oh, this house was built in such and such a time and this happened here and blah blah blah, and that to me just kind of like makes a home. So modern builds just don't sort of appeal to me in that way, but again, they are pretty. I appreciate them. I understand why people like them. I'm not saying that they're horrible, I'm just saying that they're not for me. So yeah, I don't know, let me know in the comments below what your favourite type of home is or build is. Like, let me know whether you sort of prefer modern or like sort of character builds or whatever. I don't know, like, you know, just let me know. I like to hear what other people think about stuff, because obviously we all have different opinions, and if we had the same opinion, life would be really boring. So yeah, so just tell me a little bit about yourself. So yeah, anyway, so this is the painter room, and I wish I'd kind of thought ahead and got them to do a few paintings to put on the wall, but I did that like kind of art wall with like all the different scaled paintings and stuff. So as if imagining like that's where they draw their inspiration for each painting from. This is the music room, so obviously this is going to have a lot of music in it, and there's a piano and a guitar and stuff like that. I didn't do too much with the landscaping outside actually, because again, I had only 4 packs including the base game to work with, and there wasn't much like outdoor stuff. Like I wanted to kind of do some makeshift sunbeds in here, and then I realised that I don't actually have any of the stuff that I usually make sunbeds with for the inside, and whatever I made them out of, it wouldn't have looked right. So I kind of had to work with just the benches, which they kind of looking a little bit odd really, like a bench set in there. But yeah, I don't know, just it's a swimming pool area. I guess you wouldn't have a lot of stuff in there because if the water spilled over it'd ruin it. So that's my justification behind that anyway, so just deal with it. So yeah, so you saw at the end of the hallways there that I just put the little end tables with just a little bit of, I don't know, art on them. So these little kind of jutted in bits on the outside, I just sort of made a feature of them. This side's just got a tree on the other side I do a little water feature. I didn't like the idea that you could see the bins. I was like, oh, you know, it's really nice like looking house on the outside, and then there's just 2 bins there. So I actually do a little bit of a fence around them and get rid of one of the bins, even though I like to put a lot of bins in, because here in the UK we do have several different types of bin for like recycling and garden waste, and I don't know why I'm talking about bins. I seem to talk about bins a lot in some of my builds. It's like they're like my favourite thing to talk about or something. But actually, interesting story about bins. We didn't have a wheelie bin for ages because where we live, it's like kind of really like an old set of houses. They're actually listed buildings because they're part of, I guess they're probably like old houses in the market town that I live in, and so we used to have like the old style bins with the lids, like the plastic ones, and then we kept complaining about it and eventually got a wheelie bin. So I'm very passionate about the bins. So anyway, here are the screenshots. So yeah, so again, I lied when I said this was going to be really easy, because it completely wasn't easy, but I hope you liked it anyway, and if you did, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment down below. You know, like I said, I do like to hear from you. I like to hear what you've got to say, so just anything, I don't know, just talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'll always try and reply. It might not be straight away, but I will try and reply, and like I said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.